exciting. I mean, high intensity for sure. Manchester City look really good, to be fair, going forward, specifically with how they're creating chances. Chelsea have shown moments where they're doing things, but, you know, even when you listen to the fans, like they're not used to the team taking their time, building it up, and they've got to get used to that, and also the players have got to get used to it, but been impressed with Man City so far.
He gets that right arm up, doesn't he? Gets the right arm on Cucurella and he can't move him.
It's unstoppable. It's unstoppable.
I think the reflections are Man City is still going to be the side to beat. In terms of, you thought, how were they going to start the season? Was it going to be flat? I know previous seasons they've started it with a couple of losses, but today, in terms of control, they knew exactly what they needed to do. They moved the ball really well. Everyone knows their positions. And it's just typical Manchester City again. I mean, you're looking at tactically, would they do anything different? Ronaldo comes, drops a little bit deeper, knows exactly what he needs to do. We had a debut from Savinho, who looked really well before he got injured. But Man City are just a joy to watch.
You talked before the game about what Nick Jackson has to do in order to kind of get to the levels.
We talked about Nicholas Jackson before the game, and is he a top striker? Because I really liked him. Last season I thought he did really well. I thought it was just the key moments. And again, we're saying exact same things today. He had two chances today, one where he shouldn't have been offside and the other where it was a difficult chance, but I know maybe a top striker might just go either side of Ederson.
Nicholas Jackson has great potential, to be honest. I do believe he has potential to be able to score goals in the Premier League. Now, he's obviously been put in a position where he's playing. See, we got Mr. Erling Haaland coming in now.
Yeah, 3 points and perfect start.
How was that? How was the game for you? How did you find it coming back? First game back in the Premier League, particularly after this summer when a lot of players have been away and there are just a couple of players coming back to full Premier League fitness.
Yeah, first games is always hard, you know. For everyone, it doesn't matter if you had a pre-season or you didn't have. I actually had a quite long pre-season, so that's good. So I don't feel perfect because I'm not in the perfect shape, but yeah, it's good to start and to win.
Yeah.
But of course, I want to improve as a overall player. You know, with the ball, I want to give more assists back to the players that give me assists. So I want to become overall better footballer.
That's something he doesn't need to improve on, as we've just said. But you can see that he has it in him that he wants to be more than just a goal scorer. You know, we talked about the little things in terms of the touches and being the best at the simple things. And then also in terms of his overall game, it's like, well, maybe holding up the ball. We're talking about assist play, this and that. So
thank you.
So it's a good news, the 33 points. The bad news, we have 65 games ahead of us. So this is the bad one.
Yeah, one down, 64 left to go. But looking...
Advantage is 9 seasons together, so we know each other quite well. I know that Bernardo can be tired or whatever, but give you something special. I'm really impressed with the performance from Kevin because, well, it's just 1 week training sessions, and today was, like, I remember the first Kevin when I arrived, he's dynamic, you know, he's dynamic and to play, but everyone, so there is no impossible but what. Of course, there are mistakes that we have to improve and many things, but we talk. So the difference that we be champions, it was our body language, how was our bad moments, how we behave. And in good moments, every player, every football player is really good. It's in the bad moments, that there is during the game, during the season, it's hard to find in big teams. And that's player show. For me, it's an immense privilege. So I cannot be more honored to be a manager of these guys. So they gave me everything to me, everything, the joy, the happiness, the commitment to defend, you know, the club to represent. And I'm so fortunate. I could not say more.
Playing, what a big miss he was. They didn't miss him at all. I thought Kovacic was fantastic. Forget the goal, I just think his all-round performance. And it helped when Rico Henry comes into midfield, Rico Lewis comes into midfield with him, and they just outnumbered Chelsea. I thought they were fabulous today. And like you said at the start, Micah, I thought they've just really laid down a marker today. They are going to go right to the end. Got so many good players, work ethic. And he works with a basis of about 24 players with his squad. And that makes it slightly easier. When you look at what Chelsea have got, 43, 44 players, it's so difficult to manage that group of players, whereas Pep knows what he needs. He can bring in players. He didn't miss Kyle Walker at all today. You know, it just shows you the level of everybody that comes into that team. They're ready. It's going to take a lot of time for Maresca to get them playing how he wants and find out what his best 11 is, because they've spent £1.2 billion and they still haven't got a top striker, and I'm not even sure they've got a good goalkeeper. So they are, and all the money they've spent, they haven't really filled probably two of the most important areas.
We'll get
Manchester City, but I'm still going to stick with Arsenal. I just feel that they're ready this year.
more detail.